Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Hold this image up. Look at this black and brown man. This image right here has destroyed us as a people.
That's right.
Now we got our sisters walking around with straight hair. Now they blonde in their hair. Now the black man, he want to bleach himself.
Right.
Why? Because of this image. Give me Proverbs 3:31. We have been destroyed as a people, and it's all because of this image. This so-called white man.
Right.
Once we came over here in captivity, they fed us this image right here. And if we did not worship this image, what did they do? They put us to death. They killed us for not worshiping this image. And now we worship this image comfortably. Now we call ourselves trying to keep up with the Joneses. Now and then we are what? We defend this image. We actually defend this image now. Right. And if we bring up and say Christ is a black man, now what does color matter? Right. What does color have to do with it?
Right.
If color didn't have anything to do with it, then we wouldn't have been so happy when Obama became president.
Bring it out.
If color didn't have anything to do with it. So obviously color matters.
That's right.
Read that.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31.
Read.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The Bible says, envy not the oppressor. If you did not know, the so-called white man is our oppressor.
That's right.
And these other nations also. But he's first and foremost. Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
We envy the oppressor in all things. Whether you know it or not, we envy them in all things. We want to be like them in all things. But we are not to envy our oppressor. You got to know who your oppressor is. Right. If you don't know who your oppressor is, how you know who your enemy is?
Bring it out.
Give me Jeremiah 2:11.
Bring it out.
Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11. You can put that down. We as a people, we got to wake up. We see the signs happening. We see things coming to pass. We got to wake up and realize who we are as a people. And we don't want to hear anything about this anti-Semitism crap.
Bring it out.
Because we're the true Jews.
Bring it out.
They're not the Jews. We are the Jews.
That's right.
You black and brown, we are the Jews.
Bring it out.
Read.
Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11.
Read.
Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Have the other nations changed their gods, which are yet no gods? Why? Because the other nation gods, they're idols. That's all they are. But guess what? Those other nations, the Chinese, they have their own God that looks just like them. You got the so-called white man. He has his own God. Guess what? It looks just like him. The East Indians, they have their own God. Guess what? He looked just like them.
Bring it out.
Read that again.
Have a nation changed their gods?
Have these nations changed their gods? No. Throughout history, these nations kept the same gods.
Right.
None of their gods have changed. Throughout all the centuries, these other nations kept their gods. Read.
Which are yet no gods.
Which are yet no gods because they're idols. All these other nations been given up to idols. Read.
But my people.
But what?
But my people.
But what?
But my people.
But God's people. You blacks, you Hispanics, and you natives. Read that part again.
But my people.
But God's people. Read.
Have changed their glory for for that which doeth not profit.
Wait, what is our glory? What was our former glory before we started worshiping the so-called white man? That all our prophets were black men.
That's right.
That was our glory. That Christ himself is a black man according to the Bible.
That's right.
That God himself is black. That's our glory.
That's right.
But guess what? Something happened. We changed that. We changed that. Now we don't know who we are. Now we don't know that this Bible belongs to us. Now we lost our history. We lost our heritage. We don't even keep the same customs that we keep, that we used to keep. We don't even dress the way that we used to dress. We don't carry ourselves the way we used to carry ourselves. We have fallen apart as a people. And that's because of this image right here.
Bring it up.
Worshiping this image right here. Now we look at each other, hating each other. Now black on black crime is to the highest level ever. And the world is getting colder and colder and colder. Read that again.
Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Read.
But my people
Read.
have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit.
What was our former glory? Give me, let's get some color in the Bible. Let's show our people their glory. What used to be our glory.
Revelations chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
You see that? This is our glory right here, that Christ is a black man according to the Bible.
That's right.
His head and his hairs were white like wool. Who has woolly hair on the earth? We do. We the people with the woolly hair. Let you know Christ is a black man.
That's right.
A so-called Negro, an African American. If Christ was here today, you would call him an African American.
Right.
If he was here right now. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
And he had white hair, white as snow. You don't see white hair, it's white woolly on this image right here, on Caesar Borgia. That's dog hair. That's dog hair.
That's right.
I'm gonna say it again. That's dog, it's dead hair.
Bring it out.
It's leprous.
Bring it out.
That's not of God.
That's right.
Read it again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet, why? Because Christ had on flip-flops. And his feet like unto what?
Unto fine brass.
And his feet like unto fine brass. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So if you took that brass, that fine brass, which is already a brownish color, and put it in a furnace, it gets blacker.
That's right.
So Christ was a dark-skinned man.
That's right.
A dark-skinned man. Like most of you brothers walking around here in Philly. Dark-skinned, black.
Right.
Go to Song of Solomon. Let's get some more color. Our people don't believe this Bible, man. They think it's a fairy tale. They think it's a joke.
Song of Solomon.
Read.
The Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black, but comely.
You hear that? King Solomon, one of the wisest kings on the earth, said he's what?
I am black, but comely.
I am what?
I am black, but comely.
I am what?
I am black, but comely.
King Solomon said, I am black, but comely. There's a term today for, what do you call it? Tall, dark, and handsome.
Right.
That's King Solomon. Give me some more. Give me some more.
Yes,
Let's go.
Jeremiah chapter 14 verse 2.
Read.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
Judah, you so-called African Americans. Judah, what's the color of Judah again?
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Read.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
Judah is what?
They are black.
The so-called Negroes are what?
They are black.
You so-called African Americans are what?
They are black.
Read.
unto the ground.
You are black unto the ground. You are different shades of brown.
That's right.
If you don't believe that, look at yourself. Get a mirror. That's the problem. We don't see our image as positive. We don't look at ourselves as positive. That's why we hate each other. That's why it's okay to go run up in the store and kill your own brother. That's why it's okay to do that. I seen a video of a brother. He robbed the bar. But guess who he didn't touch in the bar? The so-called white man. He didn't touch him in the bar. And the white man knew he wasn't gonna touch him. He didn't take nothing out for this dude, man. He smoked a cigarette in front of his brother.
Bring it out.
Why? Because the so-called white man know that black man look at him as God.
Right.
That's why he ain't touch him.
Right.
What's going on, my brother? You got a question? Come close. Come on. I ain't gonna bite you. All right. Read that again.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language. They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. So what we going over right now, we bringing out color out of the Bible, out of the Holy Bible. All right, so we letting our people know that, look, your color is here. This Bible is your history. Did you know that?
Right.
The Bible is your history. You understand that? How'd you know that? Hey, it's okay. I know everybody be like, yeah, but now I want to know, how did you know the Bible is your history? Because a lot of our people don't know that, man. How did you know? Huh? Okay, you say you didn't know. All right. Where do you see yourself on this sign right here? I know it's how we don't bite, man. I'm just asking simple questions. Where do you see yourself right here? What would you call yourself? What is your nationality according to the Bible? Matter of fact, before I ask you that, what would you, if I were to just ask you what's your nationality, what would you say? What would you call yourself? A black American. Because you know in the, when you fill out the any application or whatever the case may be, the census and all that, they got these different categories on there. African American, Hispanic, and so forth. But is that really our nationality? Should we really be subscribing to those names? Where did those names come from? Huh? African American came from. You can find African American in the Bible. Right? Can I find black? Can I find Hispanic in the Bible as a name? So where do those names come from? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 37, real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb,
Go ahead.
and a byword.
So a proverb is a wise saying. You might know. You like a middle-aged brother, so you might know a couple of proverbs that they have against our people. Right? We always late. You know what I'm saying? That we watermelon, they all eating chicken. These are different proverbs that they put on us.
Right.
Okay? Hey, right. You hide, if you want to hide anything from a nigga, you put it where? In a book. Do our people hate reading, man. Our people hate reading. Let's be honest. Our people hate reading, right? Read that again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb,
Read.
and a byword.
All right, so now I want to get to a byword. Byword is being called outside of your God-given name, right? So like you said, African American, you would call yourself a black American. That's why when you look at the different applications, you see those names on there. They are called epithets. Epithets are different names that you wasn't given naturally. Because now, right here, when we look on the sign, you're from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You understand? The tribe of Judah are the so-called African Americans today. African Americans you're from the tribe of Judah. We are the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Now, tell me what's going on in the news today. What's going on what's happening? There's a lot going on. For one thing, say it again. A lot of crime, especially here in Philly. The crime rate is ridiculous here in Philly. Okay? What you got? Read that.
Hosea.
Let me show you about that.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1.
Then he said something heavy. He said the crime rate in Philly is ridiculous. It's high. Yes, it is. Why is that? Read.
Hear the word of the Lord which for ye children of Israel. For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Read.
Because there is no truth, no mercy.
What is truth? He said because there is no truth. God said he has a controversy in the land because there is no truth. What is truth? Give him what truth is.
Psalms chapter 119 verse 142.
So listen good. This is truth according to the Bible. Read.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. And thy law is the truth.
And the laws. God's laws is the truth. So go back to Hosea 4:1 real quick.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
So here, this is God speaking. This is God out of God's mouth right here. Read.
For the Lord have a controversy.
So God said, listen, I have a controversy. Read.
With the inhabitants of the land.
With the inhabitants of the land, which are you blacks and Hispanics. Read.
Because there is no truth.
Because there is no truth. What is truth again? What is truth? I want to know you listen. The laws, right, the laws. So truth is the law. So God is saying there's no laws in the land. Right? Read.
Nor mercy.
Nor mercy. These people don't have no mercy towards each other. Read.
Nor mercy. Nor knowledge of God in
no
the land.
Knowledge, because there's no knowledge of God in the land. Read. Go ahead.
And by swearing and lying.
By swearing and lying. Who does this sound like? This sound like us, man. By swearing to each other, by lying to each other. Read.
And killing.
And what?
And killing.
And what?
And killing.
And killing. That's why the crime rate is so high here in Philly, because of all we lying to each other, we swearing to each other, and we're killing each other. Why? Because we have no knowledge of God towards each other.
That's right.
We're not keeping God's laws. Understand. Without God's laws, the black man and Hispanic man have no order. There's no order there's no discipline for the black and Hispanic man. Do you believe that? Do we have discipline? Do we have order?
At all.
Not at all, man.
Not at all.
I don't know if you heard about the young boy. What happened in Detroit?
Yeah.
That happened in Detroit. You hear about the young boy in Detroit? He killed 3 brothers in a restaurant because they was cracking on him by the sneakers.
No, I hear that.
So he ran up in there and shot all 3 of them.
Yep.
Huh?
Horrible.
In the face, point blank range, man. Now, here in Philly, that might be normal.
Not a question.
But
Black.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, he was.
Read it again for him.
By swearing.
Listen good.
By swearing and lying. And killing.
And killing. Go ahead.
And stealing.
And we steal from each other. Hey, you don't see this in no other community. You don't find a black man going to the so-called white man community and stealing from them.
Right.
And killing them. So I let you know who God is talking about.
Right.
This is happening amongst us. Read.
And committing adultery.
And committing adultery. Sleeping around with different women. We do that thing on a regular, man. This stuff is normal now. It's normal to go sleep with another man's wife. That's a normal thing in society. Why? Matter of fact, you not even. They don't even consider you the man. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing when you do something like that and growing up in the ghettos and the hoods. You get street cred.
Pimp.
Huh?
Pimp.
Yeah, you a pimp.
PIMP.
You a PIMP if you doing stuff like that. You know. Read.
By swearing and lying.
Read.
And killing and stealing and committing adultery. They break out and blood toucheth blood.
And what?
And blood toucheth blood.
And blood toucheth blood. Black on black crime.
That's right.
That's what the Bible is speaking about. Black on black crime.
Bring it up.
All right. Read.
Verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
So now God come back and said, my people that he was just talking about in verse 1 is what?
Are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
So he said, now my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because we have rejected knowledge. Knowledge is what? God's laws.
That's right.
That's what knowledge is. Understand that. Read.
I will also reject thee.
God said he will also reject us as being a people. Read.
Thou shalt be no priest to me.
Read.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
You see that? Why? Because before we was kings and priests. niggers and spicks, Negroes and so forth. Now he gonna do what? Read it again.
See, excuse me. I will also reject thee.
So now God come back and say he's gonna reject us from being what?
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Now he gonna reject us from becoming priests to him now. Well, how can we be priests when we're stealing and killing from each other?
Bring it out.
We don't even care about one another.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.